0.6, see, yours is big, mine's good, of a mile from the house coming up the hollow that has city water. The new houses that are being built on the Morse Holler side are on top of the hill from us. They are probably closer than 0.6 of a mile back. They have city water. We paid $5,000 for a water well to be drilled. It is good, clear water, but not a good supply. There are 6 households over in the hollow, and I'm sure 5 would take city water if offered. We would greatly appreciate it if you could help us. Thank you, Tammy, Brian, and our son, Keith.
Tammy called a month ago or so, and I suggested to her that she make a formal request. This would be a West Virginia American customer, and basically all we could do, I think, would be, if you're agreeable, that we petition West Virginia American to see if they would consider extending the water line either from the top of the hill down or up to Cherry Street. So if it's agreeable, I'd entertain a motion to formally make the letter of request on behalf of Tammy.
I'll move. I'll second.
Good motion and second. Being all yes, motion carries.
Now to old business, hearing on the closure of County Road 7/11. We had, you all, at the last meeting, the commissioners had given the parties who were involved an opportunity to work together to come up with a decision, or you all would make a decision today.
Okay, I know we have Mr. Tony here today.
Since I was here last, I have been in contact with the property owners in the area, and we come up with a petition for the state. I think you have all the maps and stuff that we indicated last time. Basically, I haven't been in contact with everybody, but I've tried to, and I don't know if people have any questions on it. But basically what we've done is the access road to Pea Ridge and Pea Ridge Cemetery and all their properties is better accessed by Route 64 rather than to go all the way across Upton and through my property and back out another couple of mountains and back around Pea Ridge. But the road had been in such disrepair that no one had been able to use it. And basically it's a 6/10 of a mile stretch of road. And so what we've done, we've petitioned the state, and I'm trying to get the petition signed by as many people as I can to get Route 64 opened up and gravelled and fixed up so that anybody could access the cemetery or their property. And for the most, well, everyone I've talked to has agreed that if that's done, that they wouldn't have a problem with the road being closed that goes through my property, and the gates could go back up the way they were. I spoke to a lady last night, Elena Payne, the last one to get a hold of, and she's in complete agreement that if the road is fixed up by the state, that they will withdraw their objection for the road being abandoned. And so what I request is that you give us some more time, that the state can come in there and do their work. I have spoken to the head of the State Road Maintenance Department, which is Ed Armbruster, and Mike King, and they seemed open to the fact that they would go in there and do that, but they're so tied up right now with flood control and flood cleanup. They said they didn't know how long it would be, but they would get out there and take a look at it and see what needed to be done. And they did also agree that this is the best access road to Pea Ridge and to the cemetery and to all other properties back in there, and that just to give them the time to get out there and do what they need to do. So I would just request and ask that the commission would come out sometime and take a look at the roads and take a look at the access road that we're speaking of, Route 64, before they make their decision on whether to abandon the road. And I would get in contact with the state, and as soon as there's movement on it, try to reschedule another commission meeting where you can make your ruling at that time.
So the discussion that you've had at this point with the people who gave us objections at the last meeting, if the road could be fixed as you had proposed, and they were willing to come forward and make statements.
Yes, that their biggest concern was having readily access to their property, and also the people that had concerns about the cemetery, access to the cemetery. And as it stands, and I would agree that the road is for the most part, impassable, the 6/10 of a mile that comes off the main road straight to the cemetery. And that once that was done, and, you know, the state showed that they were gonna maintain that road, that they would then be fine with, you know, the road being abandoned through my property.
Can we send a letter to say road support of that, Charles?
I think so.
I'll motion we do that. Just the commission send a letter supporting this.
I appreciate that.
We'll basically upgrade a county road.
Yes, it's 6/10 of a mile actually from the main county road that's kept. Actually, if you look at the map, the county road actually went straight to the cemetery. But what they did was they cut off onto a different road and they let that go into disrepair, the 6/10 of the main. The 64 goes straight up Upton Creek Road off Mud River. But 6/10 before it gets to the cemetery, they went off on another road that went across on the Big Ugly. And they let this road, particular road, fall into disrepair. But they do agree and acknowledge that this is the best access to the cemetery and to the properties out on Pea Ridge. So, you know, if we could just have time to get that completed and then resubmit to the commission.
Well, I think it's great you guys have been able to find common ground and work this problem out. I'll second Dr. Nancy's motion.
Motion is to provide a letter to the Department of Highways requesting support for the 6/10 mile to upgrade it, as well as to delay a decision
Yes.
to whenever. All right, we have a motion and a second, being all yes, motion carries, and we'll put this on hold at further notice.
Thank you very much.
And if we do bring it back and aim to make a decision at that point, all parties will be notified and discussion had before we ever make a decision. Give the state a chance to do something. Yes.
May I speak, please?
Sure.
I wasn't able to come to the last meeting, but I would like to say that my family live on this section of road that they're asking the road to be abandoned, which is a short section. And over the years, this has become such a dangerous situation. I've even applied and have a concealed weapon permit, and I try to get out of there at night if I have to go there, you know, with my grandchild. Because the short section of road that goes to their home is one way up to their gate and one way out. So the people that go there to party and get away from the police back in that section of road, and they don't want to move. They get out with their beer cans and you ask them what they, you know, can I get through? Well, we're just here to party. And they back in there, and like Mr. Tony was talking about, that section of road, if it's finished to the cemetery, that would give the fire department, the ambulance department, and all that fast access to that, other than going all the way up over 2 Mile, and then they would have, if anyone's familiar with the gun range, in order to get a fire truck or an ambulance turned, I'm certain you'd have to go all the way on down Big Ugly to the gun range, turn around, then to get on that property. But it's just, you know, they're in the middle of the road. Car broke down just since this meeting's taken place, and Miss Hatton here was coming out of there. They were standing blocking the road, holding their beer cans, trying to get her to stop. You know, and I know you all can't get over there, you know, in time. You know, they could have you dead in another county before you all could get back in there. And it's just, I just want to come and say it's.
Well, and I'm not real, I've been through there, but I have to, I heard.
And I think.
Come and look, but, I, you know, before I have a feel for it, I'd have to do that and probably try to do it sometime.
Sure.
But,
And I think we, the people of Lincoln County, need to push for this Hatfield-McCoy Trail to come through here. And a lot of people that go there, they may not go on the Hatfield-McCoy Trail. They go there as a means of avoiding the law. They can take their coolers, their beer, their young children, ride 2 or 3 on one 4-wheeler. Something bad's going to happen if